Hello budget friends, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa and I'm here to do the monthly budget closeout for the month of September here in Google Sheets. We're going to compare what our actual money spent compared to what we forecasted. So let's jump in and take a look at the numbers. So, all right, you guys, in the income section, we forecasted to roll over $3,000, but we only brought in $2,647.23. We are under by $352.77. Now, into the main income section, I budgeted to bring in $7,768 between hubby and myself, but we brought in more, $8,589 even. So we are $821 more than what we forecasted. Miscellaneous and transfers. We did not budget to bring in anything, but we brought in $591.76. So out of the $10,768 that we forecasted, we came in a lot higher at $11,827.99. Now let's jump down into the monthly bill section. $2,500 was budgeted for the rent, and that was what was spent. 101 was budgeted for electric, but we came in under at $100.38. HB Inc. was budgeted at $6. We only spent $1.62. Peloton was budgeted $44, but we didn't spend anything because I did pause the subscription for the month of September. We're bringing it back in October. Google Cloud was budgeted at $3. We spent $2.16. Renter's insurance was budgeted at $40. We spent $38.75. iCloud storage was budgeted at $10. We spent $9.99. SiriusXM was budgeted at $8. We spent $7.99. Internet, I did budget to spend $138 because that was what the bill was saying, but I was able to reduce the bill, and this is what we spent or paid in the month of September, $77.80. So this was a big win for me. That's $60.20 under what we budgeted. Cell phone budgeted at $263. We only spent $259.03. So we did forecast to send out $3,113 in monthly bills, but we came in under budget at $2,997.72. So we were $115.28 under budget for our monthly bills. And as you could see, everything other than the rent, which was the only thing that was on point or on budget, everything else came in under budget in the monthly bill section. So I'm pretty proud of this section in the month of September, you guys. So let's jump down to the main focus. Student loan was budgeted at $40, but I sent over $80 because there was an additional payment of $40. I did change the account that the order draft goes against, and I wanted to see and make sure it worked before we rolled into October. So I made an additional payment of $40. So that's what we really over budget by. One main, we budgeted $508, but you guys, if you've seen my debt update, I wanted to end at an even dollar amount. So I paid $536.98. Same for Lending Club, $1,060 was budgeted, but I spent $1,072.30. So we were over budget in this category because we forecasted to send out $1,608, but in actuality, we sent out $1,689.24. So that's over budget by $81.24. And I will say, moving forward into the last quarter of 2024, I'm going to do things a little bit different because I have one of my subscribers or viewers did mention that if I had focused on just one loan, I would actually make so much more progress than sending little bits to different accounts, and which is true. I 100% agree. And in the month of October and moving forward for the rest of this year, I'm going to be focusing on just getting rid of one debt at a time. Now into the credit card section, $34 budgeted for Marcus. We sent $51.11. Discover budgeted $159, sent $280.08. Mattress Firm budgeted $67. That was what was spent. Capital One number one budgeted for 75. I sent over $329.47. So this I didn't even get to make the full minimum payment because as you can tell if you've seen any of the videos that I made in September, we didn't our income was a little bit off. So we didn't send all the monies that we budgeted to send over to the credit cards. The minimum payments were made, however, because there were different things that were charged to different cards and it was able to satisfy the minimum payment. But moving forward, we're going to try to take care of our minimum payments in addition to whatever transaction or expense is charged to the cards. Capital One number two budgeted 93, spent $72.79. Apple Card we budgeted 61, and as you can see, this is a small payment of $3.02 that was sent over. So we budgeted to send over $889 to credit cards, but we only sent $803.47. Into the transportation section, or minimum payment for the auto loan of $940 was budgeted, but we sent over $947.79. Car insurance, $260 was budgeted. We paid $257.40. Gas was budgeted at $400, but you guys, we came in under $200. We spent $193 even. Now, the total that was budgeted for the month of September in transportation was $1,600. We spent $1,398.19. So this is great because we were $201.81 on the budget. Now, into the personal section, I budgeted $50 for braids and things, but the only amount that was spent in totality in this category was $28.85. We didn't spend any more money. So $125 was budgeted, but we only spent the $28.85. Now into the everyday spending section, this is where we took a beating in the month of September. I budgeted $125 for copay, but only spent $105. Dental wasn't budgeted because I didn't know what I was actually going to need or if the insurance was going to pay the money to the dentist office directly or if they were, since it was predetermined, but they didn't, you guys. So I had a bill of $1,950 charged to my Chase credit card. This was the only expense that was not paid back in the month of September, you guys. I'm still waiting on the insurance to send me a check. Eating out, I budgeted $150, but we came in under budget at $82.08. Groceries, whew. So what wasn't spent in eating out, you guys, was spent in groceries and then some. Our budget was $700, but we spent $991.55. So I need to rethink this whole grocery thing, you guys. I'm having such a hard time because not only is the price of groceries so high, but I really didn't have a plan for groceries really when I went to the store. Yes, I made a list and I went in, but I need to get on my meal planning. I really need to get on this meal planning because it would save me so much more money in groceries. And I'm having a hard time sticking to the amount that I set because I'm like, we need to eat and I need to buy food. So even though I set this budget of $700, you could see that I blew it out of the water by going over budget $291.55. So we need to rethink this. I did up the budget in the month of October. I think I went to $850, but we will see. We will see if we go over that in October. Given was budgeted at 10, we only spent $6. Heating oil wasn't budgeted, but I knew I needed to get heating oil, and this money came out of savings. $346.35 was spent for heating oil, and it was paid back. So this is a good thing because I had some money stashed away in our sinking funds that I was able to transfer and pay back that credit card. Household was budgeted at $150. We spent $271.68. That is over budget by $121.68. And this also, you guys, is my second problem area when it comes to budgeting and spending. So even though I needed the things that I bought because it wasn't anything crazy, I needed laundry detergent to do our laundry. I needed toilet paper and paper towel. I know some of you guys mentioned not to buy the paper towels, but I had to buy the paper towels because we are for our household, I'm comfortable buying the paper towels. So I did spend more than I budgeted, and I really need to rethink those sections. So I always thought that my problem areas in our budget is groceries, household, and eating out. Those are my three problem areas. I was able to reel in the eating out in the month of September. But as you can see, the groceries and the household is something that I'm gonna have to clamp down on these two categories moving forward. Copay and medication is something that I can't do any better with because for myself having a medical condition, I do go to the doctor a lot. And not only that, I do take medication on the daily. So I just need to get like a better picture of how to spend on copay and meds. Now in YNAB, they do have spending trends and they do have averages. I'm going to go back and look at all the numbers that I've spent over the months of 2024 so far and see if I can get a better amount to budget. So this is something that I'm going to have to stay on top of moving forward. But like I mentioned, our problem areas is eating out, groceries, and household goods. Those are the three areas that I'm going to be paying attention to moving forward. Now, medication, I did budget $100, but came in on the budget for the month of September, $37.60. Propane, nothing budgeted or spent. Reimbursement, so I didn't budget anything but spent $710 for hubby, and he did send that money back over. So that was paid back to the card. I remember I asked you guys what you would do because I was kind of on the fence of using that money in the budget. The majority of you guys said to send it back to the card, which I did. I sent it right back to the card so I don't have to worry about it. Unexpected spending is at $30. We didn't budget anything, but hubby needed some cash. I don't know what he spent it on, so I don't know how to categorize it. So it's going to stay in unexpected spending. $1,235 was budgeted for our everyday spending section. We spent $4,530.26. And this is in part because of this almost $2,000 bill that we had or I had for dental. Now let's go into the my baby section, and there was a little bit of mess up here in the month of September. After school, I budgeted $80, but I only spent 20 because they only cashed one check, even though I did write three checks in the month of September. They are still holding on to two. Babysitter, I budgeted $400, but you guys, between hubby and I, we are working out this thing with our little one, and we didn't need the babysitter as much as we thought we would. So we only spent $40 for the month of September. Braces was budgeted and spent at $164. Child support. So I budgeted $526, but you guys, why was I thinking there was 31 days in September? Because I was supposed to make or send that second payment and it didn't make it in September. I sent it on October 1st. So it didn't make it into this budget, even though the money was set aside. I was asleep. I was asleep and I didn't realize that I didn't send the second payment. And when I did, it was made in October. So in October, you're going to see a little bit more that came out for child support. What I'm going to have to do is make the 263 that rolled over a part of or rollover money for it to cover the second half of September's child support payment. Clothes and shoes, nothing was budgeted. We spent $86.23. Haircuts budgeted at $60. We only spent $30. Toys and activities and supplies, we didn't budget anything but spent $136.79. So out of the $1,230 that we budgeted to spend for my babies, we came in under budget, you guys, at $740.02. So look at that. That is $429.98 under budget. Now, I went ahead and I hide all of the sinking funds. I did budget because of the amount of money that we had. I did budget to send over $968 into our savings. But you guys know, if you've seen the videos in September, I only sent over $145.09 into savings. So even though it's not the $968 that we budgeted, $145.09 is still good. So let's just sum this whole thing up, you guys. $10,768 was what we budgeted to bring in as income. We did budget to send out $10,768 in expense because we are zero-based budgeters, but we brought in $11,827.99. And we spent, you guys, we spent $12,332.84. So that is $504.85 over budget for the amount of money that we brought in. So we ended the month in the red. And it is true, we did end the month of September in the red because this dental bill here, I did mention to you guys that I wasn't able to pay that back. That is sitting on my Chase card, waiting to be paid in the month of October. I'm trying to get it cleared out before the month of October is through. So I'm not beating myself up. I knew I wasn't going to be able to pay the dentist bill. I thought that they would have sent the check directly to the dentist and then I would pay the difference, but it didn't work out that way. So right now I'm waiting for that reimbursement check from my dental insurance to cover whatever section or part of that bill or percentage that I need to cover. So you guys, this is what it is. September was kind of an off month for us. Even though we did come in under budget in some areas, like I do know that my problem areas in our budget is our eating out, our groceries, and our household. So I need to reel those in and just to pay attention and be a little bit more attentive to those categories because I find that I am going over budget now. And now that we are back to our regular routine with the kids being home and school and all of that stuff, I need to get it together out. So you guys, I appreciate you for clicking and watching this video. Let me know in the comments how you did in the month of September. Were you able to stick to your numbers? Did you go over budget? What are you doing differently in the months going forward? Are you going to up your budget or are you going to drop your budget down? For us, I do have some things that I'm doing different in the last quarter of 2024. You guys will see that as we go forward. But I appreciate you for watching this video. So click subscribe if you are not already subscribed. Leave me a comment down below and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye now.